You are listening to Bearcat Insider with everybody's favorite assistant coach Travis Marsh, and I'm Chance Kirby. Now to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bearcat Insider. It's the Peaster postgame show. Victory postgame show at that.
It's been a while.
3 weeks.
It seems like forever.
It does seem like forever. We are at the IRIC Real Estate Studio.
That explains the echo.
And
I'm the softest thing in this room.
Thank you, Terry Slay says I'm pudgy.
Wow.
But I'm here with realtor extraordinaire and Pilot Point's favorite son, Chance Kirby, and I'm assistant coach Travis Marsh. And we're going to talk all things Peaster. But we're going to start off with a little bit different piece of news. Had some breaking news on Saturday in Bearcat land that former head coach athletic director Jerry Jones had passed away. And so I'm going to take a minute and just kind of recognize his contributions to the Bearcats, which was 141 wins, 22 losses, and 2 ties. Multiple trips in deep into the playoffs. And if we wanted to talk about the measure of a man and the lives that man touched, it's numerous and it's generational at that.
He means a lot to this community, or meant a lot.
Absolutely. He was alumni. Class of...
I'm quickly... I didn't know we were starting with this, so I'm quickly dialing it up as you talk. So keep vamping.
Okay. Yeah, no, but while Chance is, I guess, looking that up, I'm going to share a couple of Jerry Jones stories that people might get a kick out of. And the first one is Scott Deckard and Mike Holler were over at my house, my parents' house, one Saturday afternoon. And Jerry comes rolling up and knocks on the door, and he goes, "Guys, I need y'all's help with something." And we had a girls' assistant coach at the time that the family had, had some needs, and I do believe the husband and the father of the 2 girls had just passed away, and so he, in the back of his truck, he had TVs, DVD players, a new bed, mattresses, all this stuff for this family. And he said, "Guys, I need y'all to unpack this stuff, put it in y'all's trucks, and then y'all take it over to the house and give it to them. But I don't want y'all to tell anybody where it came from." And so we did. And this is the first time I've ever repeated the story because I was told not to. But he really can't do anything about it now. And so, that's the measure of the man that Jerry Jones was. He was always wanting to take care of others. And always wanting to look out for the community. And then as a player, I was a freshman, and I was walking down the hall with my girlfriend, holding hands.
Uh-oh.
And he informed me that I have a mile after practice for PDA. To which I looked back at him and said, "No, I don't, because I quit."
It's so awesome you're a coach now.
And so he looked back at me and he says, "Now you have another mile for quitting." And so after practice that evening, I ran 2 miles, and that was that. And he brought it back up the last time I guess I saw him, which was years ago at some function. I don't know, when I was coaching. He brought the story back up, and I laughed about it, and it was a good time. But at that time, the 2 miles was not very fun.
No.
But
I could see you hating 2 miles.
Yes.
You look like you still would hate 2 miles.
It was about 7 laps too many.
Yeah.
But that's just Jerry. That's what he was. He was a great coach. He was a great man, and I'm honored and privileged that he was my coach.
He was my coach as well.
And I'm 0-1 against him. He beat me in Prosper my senior year.
Yeah, I remember that game.
It was hard to compete against him. I'm not gonna lie.
It was weird looking over there.
Yeah, it was definitely strange.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, what is he the class of?
Class of 63.
Okay.
And then where he falls on the all-time list, second in playoff wins in Pilot Point with 141.
No, that's overall wins.
Oh, you are correct.
He's first with playoff wins, 35.
Sorry, I'm getting there. Man, why are you memorizing all this? That's impressive.
And he's also the all-time
leader
in
win percentage at 85%.
Yes, sir.
85%.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's better than your science grades.
Oh, yeah. Miss Terry. God love her. 25 playoff wins, number one in that. And then 165 games coached here. And he coached from, you may have said it, from 86 through 1999.
Yeah.
I was here for his first year, and you were here for his last.
Yeah, last year was my junior year.
We're like the bookends.
We are the man.
Yeah.
What a way to start it. Chance Kirby.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to shock you. I really wasn't paid attention to a whole lot because I was just there.
Yeah, but
I enjoyed him.
His character.
He was. And he had an impossible task of following Coach Moore and then being a local guy. Some didn't accept him for no other reason than his name wasn't two initials. Yeah. And that's unfair.
It is unfair because he took a program that had achieved the ultimate.
Yes.
And there wasn't much of a dip or a decline at all. And so while he might not have built Pilot Point, he sure as heck maintained it.
Oh, he took the baton and yes.
He did his part.
Yes.
The streak continued under him all the way until 2002 of, I think it was 34 straight playoff appearances.
I don't have that one in front of me.
I mean, it was over 30. And so he did what he was supposed to do, and he did it well, and he did it his way.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I'm honored and privileged that he was my coach, and that whole group of coaches made me want to become a coach.
Yeah.
And so...
you know the one thing he told me that has nothing to do with football that I still practice to this day? And I've always, every time I go to the grocery store, I think of him and credit him for this. I ran into him in the grocery store once at Stevens, and he told me to never go to the grocery store and come home without toilet paper. He said, buy toilet paper every time you go to the grocery store.
Great life advice from Jerry Jones.
Yes, and it's funny. I think of him every time. I guess it keeps you from running out, but yeah, just buy toilet paper every time. And then you're good.
That'd be a lot of toilet paper.
It would come in handy during the freeze.
It would have.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even been called a hoarder because you've just been buying it every trip.
You've actually been hoarding the whole time.
No, you're just planning ahead.
Spoken like a true hoarder. All right, but in any case, rest in peace to Jerry Jones.
Absolutely. We let you open this. Did you mention that this is the CS Designs Peaster post-game show?
No, I was excited about Jerry.
Yeah.
And talking about and wanting to get that in.
Okay. So this is the CS Designs post-game show.
Yeah, from Iric Real Estate Studios.
Yeah, so let's jump in actually to a CS Designs commercial, and then when we come back, let's get into
Peaster.
Yeah.
Are you looking to build that dream home or barn-dough? CS Designs offers a complete range of design services. CS Designs products range from general drawing services to commercial and residential blueprints, as well as 3D renderings and virtual reality walkthroughs. Let Cole Stewart and the CS Design team design you a beautiful progressive home or building that translates your ideas into an outstanding reality. Visit their website at csdesignstx.com or give them a call at 940-365-4048.
Okay, we're back to the CS Designs Peaster post-game show. And so it's been a while since we've had multiple TDs to talk about too. So you just want to dive right into these?
First off, I'm going to give kind of a sweeping overview.
Take the broom.
Very good. Traveled to Peaster, took on a 3-0 Peaster football team. And, the way the thing started out, when it was 7-0 in a hurry.
Can I do like Chance does and even back you up further than where you like to start?
Sure.
In my mind, how it started out was the shocking news of who wasn't wearing pads.
Yes. We played without Ish.
Yeah.
21 didn't suit up for us. And what I will say, it was not a disciplinary action. Okay. I can't say much.
Yeah.
But I can say that it was not discipline related.
Can we be even a little more vague than hockey? Because hockey will do upper body injury, lower body injury. Let's be more vague and...
I can't say anything.
Okay.
Which answers the question.
Okay. Good enough.
So by not saying it, I said it.
So before you get into them scoring on the first drive and us all scratching our head...
You know what? Let's go back even further. Hats off to Peaster for their accommodations for the broadcast.
They need to write a manual.
That was
to the
awesome.
district. You need to, at the next district meeting, have Peaster host how to treat opposing teams.
They were unreal. From the email that we received back from their communications director.
Do we have a communications director, or is that you?
I think you're looking at him.
Can we put that under your your titles as well?
Sure, but that would be Paul Casey.
Paul Casey.
Shout out to Paul Casey. He and it was awesome. Spots in the press box, air conditioned spots in the press box. Our own little booth. It was great.
Funny you say that. I know you didn't get to listen to the cast. It was so cold in the press box that Ryan and John were complaining how cold it was.
That's impossible.
I don't imagine. I can't see Ryan ever being cold.
No.
but he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they let us drive our truck up to the press box.
Yeah. I mean, they were awesome.
There's no complaints.
So the hospitality there, really top notch. And every fan that I spoke to, going up and down the bleachers, they were extremely nice people, very, very classy people. And then their coaching staff and their players followed suit. Really, just a classy program overall.
I don't think. I don't know them, but I think an entire school district is a reflection of their leadership, most likely, like everything else is. So I don't know who the superintendent is.
Which probably means something.
Yeah, is probably a super guy.
Because I could pick Paradises out.
I was just going to say, I know there's a school that everything that they can to do to disrupt another town, they do.
Yeah, we'll see him in 2 weeks.
And I was going to say that might be a reflection of their superintendent. And that's not just Pilot Point saying that. I've talked to every media thing out there.
Yeah, they shared views.
Yeah, so Peaster, write that manual, speak at the district meeting, explain how to, because ultimately, and I put that on our Twitter post, it's all about promoting kids. They want to promote their kids. We want to promote our kids. Let us all do that.
And they have some great ones to promote.
They do. It'd be a fun job to be promoting Peaster.
Yeah, they have some fantastic kids. Fantastic athletes. They have some players.
And we had someone I know watching from Las Vegas. I had someone watching from Louisville, Kentucky, and I know someone that watched from Chicago.
Yeah.
None of that would be possible without the help of Peaster.
Yeah.
And district realignments this year, but I can promise you if Peaster comes back, we will do everything we can.
I'll bend over backwards to try to help them.
Make sure that they have a successful broadcast as well.
Absolutely. But, no, so go to the first drive, opening drive. They take the ball down and they go score. A little bit of me was worried.
A lot of me was worried.
Are we stuck in this weird hangover of 2 straight losses, and so now we just have a loser's mentality? And we have a local racehorse expert that could tell you that there's 2 types of horses, and that you have a practice horse that's basically a trained loser that's just there to be the hype man for the horse that's supposed to go win the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And you start to worry, is that us? Or are we just now that horse that's just the practice horse that we're just trained to lose? And
it was a double gut punch, because I wondered at the same time, did they come out here and find out that their guy wasn't playing, and then Peaster scores on the first drive, and then were they just going to say, oh, well, screw it. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that our kids showed a whole bunch of guts, a whole bunch of character, and responded in a very, very big way.
I agree.
And so it was incredibly proud to see that. And, I'm not going to discount that it showed a lot about our kids that we did it without 21. And that's not saying that we were trying to prove a point. That's not what I'm trying to say, like, ooh, look, we can do it without you. No, it's just nice that we were able to. It's nice that,
yeah.
And we're going to talk right now about the person that stepped up, and that's freshman Gage Anderson.
I'm sorry, did you say freshman?
I said freshman.
Yeah.
And he stepped up in a big way, and I was extremely proud of him in the way that he prepared all week and the effort that he gave in the game. I mean, he goes 1,000 miles an hour.
He didn't look like a freshman. He didn't look like a guy that had never played varsity before.
Yeah.
He had it figured out really quickly.
Against a 3-0, pretty good Peaster Greyhounds team.
Yeah, and you're going to tell me I'm crazy and give me that coach's look. I say that was a must-win Friday night. And I know you're going to tell me it's awfully early to say must wins, but the path would have been very, very bumpy.
Here's the thing about it being a must win. Was it statistically, mathematically a must win in the playoff picture? No. Because exactly what you just said. Oh, we have other games. I mean, we could have dug ourselves out of the hole. For the mentality and the psyche and the emotional mental health of a football team, that was a must win.
Yeah.
I mean, we needed it bad. We needed the shot in the arm that says, okay, we can do this. We let one absolutely slip through our fingers at DeKalb, almost literally. We faced a really, really good Gunner team and didn't play as well as we should have. I'm not going to say we should have won it, but we didn't even play ball.
No.
And then you go to Peaster, and it's a 3-0 football team. They have good wins under their belt. They've got great players. It was a worthy opponent for sure. And so you worry about it because of that. Man, if we lose 3 in a row, then what happens? Do you lose the team? Do the kids start believing in what we're doing? But now with a win, it helps because you get a little bit of the mojo back.
Yeah, it lets a lot of that bad air out of the balloon. It's a lot better podcast.
Yeah,
I feel like we're on our podcasting A game.
I'm happy to talk to you.
I never asked you how you felt.
No,
I didn't have to.
It's apparent. I'm smiling.
Yes, which is rare.
Yeah.
And, but I told you that before the kickoff when you were in coach mode and telling me to get away without waving your hands at me, that if we could win this game without 21, I think that would have been a great booster for confidence for those on the team.
Because he adds so much.
He adds so much, and now you take a team that can beat a team as good as Peaster without 21, and then you sprinkle him back in if he's available Friday, well, then that should even boost your confidence even more.
Well, and you're looking at probably a game time decision on Friday.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. It's one of those things we hope we have him. We're better with him.
Yeah.
But we've also proven that if he is unavailable, we don't have to hit the panic button.
It's business as usual.
Yeah, we'll just keep plugging away.
Yeah.
So, it was overall. I thought that the Cats played pretty well. And not only did the Cats play really well, and they executed the game plan really well, I thought that Coach Freeze and Coach Peacock put together a great game plan. And not only a great game plan going into the game, I think both play callers did an excellent job play calling.
I had no complaints, and it had nothing to do with winning.
No.
We just looked...
being on the headset, obviously, I know what's going on. And I felt like Kyle was about a drive ahead of their defense. I felt like he was seeing the game plan really well. He was making adjustments to their adjustments and putting us in a positive situation often. Now, you're never going to get it 100% of the time. I thought he called about as good of a game, as you can. Obviously, if we talked to him and he was sitting right here, he would say, well, I wish I had this one back. I wish I would have done this different.
I would hope he would say that.
Yes, and of course he would, because that's everybody. But, he did a great job. All the way down to whenever it was late in the game when we kicked the field goal, the discussion amongst the coaching staff was points for district. Well, we had already covered our points for district. The cap is plus 14.
Okay.
And he pushed and pushed and pushed for the field goal because he said, we need to practice field goals in game situations.
Yeah, last year the last field goal we kicked was the Paradise game.
And so I thought it was a great call by him. I thought that's a fantastic suggestion, was to practice, snap, hold, kick, good, in a game situation without the pressure of winning the game, but with the pressure of it being on the line.
And it worked great.
Absolutely.
He had more distance on that, I thought. That was high and through the center.
Oh, and Elias is a good kicker.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of air under the ball. The trajectory off of his foot makes it hard to block because he didn't drive it.
You lost me at trajectory, but anyway.
It's okay.
It was a good kick.
Yeah. So, I thought they did really well. I thought Coach Freeze made a couple of adjustments down the stretch that really paid dividends for us. So I thought both coordinators did awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you was it this morning? I don't know. We talked too much, but I was really happy with everything. I had no real complaints. Not that you ever listen to them anyway, but I mean, the flow just seemed better.
Yeah, no, and it was.
And I'm not counting the Gunner game. That was a whole.
And it's its own little
yes,
thing.
but I'm going back to DeKalb. It just everything felt like it was a lot smoother. The gears were turning.
Yeah, no, and like I said, it wasn't. The ball was spread around. We had a lot of people contributing, and I thought it was a really, really positive step for the Cats.
Yeah, I agree.
Now let's talk touchdowns.
Go ahead.
So
What's the first touchdown play?
The first touchdown play was a what we call a perimeter game. Passing play to Aston Kirby on the right side. There was good blocking on the edge. He made a couple people miss.
Shout out to Crew Chandler.
Off to the races. I think it might have been Aiden as well on that side. I don't remember the exact formation, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go onto our Twitter page.
Yeah, it's
I'm
up.
going to check the highlight that you just posted just a few minutes ago.
It's also on our Facebook page, and you can check that out and break it down for us there, Coach.
No, it's going to be a throw out to the flat. Aston Kirby makes the catch, picks up a block from Crew Chandler. Now it's a foot race. 10,
Let's go.
5. Aston Kirby drug out, but he's got a street.
That's a
he
touchdown,
stretches the ball
fellas.
across.
Let's go.
Pelzel printing touchdown. Big play there by Aston Kirby. But let's not overlook Crew Chandler getting some work
Just got
down there
enough,
on that
didn't he?
corner. Yeah, he sure did. Excellent blocking. Excellent yards after catch for Aston Kirby.
So it was a perimeter play to the right side, and it was Cade Carter and Crew Chandler on the blocks, and Aston just got it. He weaved through traffic and turned on the jets and got to the end zone. And then you turn around, and we had noticed that Aiden was in single coverage.
Need some guys to step up, and they have.
Oh, we got Aiden Cox on
Come
the
on, Aiden,
sideline.
come on, Aiden,
Peters
come on,
man
Aiden.
runs under a touchdown, Bearcats. Beautiful 51-yard Bearcat Nutrition Den big play for a Pelzel printing touchdown.
And we liked our matchup, which most of the time with Aiden, I like our matchup. He's pretty good.
Yeah, and I noticed on that, it's weird to say untouched when they don't have the ball, but he does some little move. I don't know the technical term, but anyway, he does his move to get past the cornerback, and then it's just get the ball to where it needs to be, and this is a guaranteed touchdown.
What Aiden did with the corner pressed up where he was, Aiden executed what Coach Stone and myself call a fastball release to perfection. He did a good job and stacked him up and got open, and Wyatt delivered a great throw. But more importantly, it was an excellent call by Coach Peacock to see the single coverage out there and get the ball to a playmaker. And
he usually draws double coverage. Even I can see that.
Yeah.
And was that just a misstep on their part? I mean, how?
As a coaching staff, we had noticed the way that they were playing him over the drive. And, we did our jobs, and we told Coach Peacock kind of what was going on, and everybody watches their little piece of the puzzle. And he made a great play call, and Aiden found pay dirt.
Awesome.
Then touchdown number 3 was Aston. Let's see, he was going left to right, and he broke open on a deep corner route. And, the Peaster fans were crying push off, and I really want to be like, I hadn't seen a push off till you watch DCAB. But it was a physical play by the corner and by Aston. Aston came down with the football and backpedaled his way into the end zone.
Yeah,
So this is going to be
take a
play
shot right
action,
here.
rolling out to pass, and we do throw
running.
it deep. Aston Kirby fights off
There
the
it is.
defender, and he
Oh,
gets
it-
it.
oh,
No,
when you
oh
know.
my, of course.
They're gonna call him.
Of course. Of course.
They're going to reverse
You
the
gotta
cap.
be
They're going to
kidding.
reverse.
Yeah.
It's good by Aston to take a 50-50 ball and, come down with it and make the play and get on the board.
And somehow the flag was on them.
Yeah. For those at home that are trying to figure out what in the world a pass interference penalty is, all right, it's contact, or it's if there's contact but you don't get your head around to find the football. And so if you look at the Peaster defender, he never got his head around at all. His face was directed towards Aston. There was contact with Aston. He had his hands up in the air, so he never made an attempt to play the ball. And that's the big game changer. If the ball is up for grabs, anybody can make a play on the ball. But if there's a lot of contact and you're not trying to make a play on the ball, it's going to be pass interference every time. for instance, Aston Kirby's sophomore year, every deep ball till about the 5th game.
Yeah.
He didn't play the ball. And he got called, and he got called, and he got called, and it was like, holy crap, kid, figure it out. Well, he finally did, and he became a viable corner. And so that's just some of the growing pains when you have young players is them learning to play the ball. And, Crew's been through it. It's part of the game. You just have to learn and adjust.
I think Rodas got called for it against Gunner.
Yes.
Same deal. He was looking.
Yeah. You got to play the ball.
Yeah.
That's the way to get to good coverage. And so, see, that was 3 scores.
And I think that was all the first half. I think we go to halftime now.
Yeah, it's 21-7 at half, I do believe.
Yeah, let's hit another break. We come back, we'll talk second half and statistics.
Are you looking to build that dream home or barn? CS Designs offers a complete range of design services. CS Designs products range from general drawing services to commercial and residential blueprints, as well as 3D renderings and virtual reality walkthroughs. Let Cole Stewart and the CS Design team design you a beautiful progressive home or building that translates your ideas into an outstanding reality. Visit their website at csdesignstx.com or give them a call at 940-365-4048.
Now, a big thank you to CS Designs. Sorry for forgetting them at the front of the store. This is the CS Designs postgame show, and we're going to talk second half scores. The scoring settled down. The Peaster, the Greyhounds put up 7 more points, or 6 more. I do apologize. They missed the extra point. And then the Bearcats put in 10 with Gage Anderson scoring his first varsity touchdown.
Going to give it right back, I believe, to him.
He's in there.
Sidesteps
Come
there,
on.
putting
Yes,
their
sir.
arms up for a Pelzel printing Bearcat touchdown. That's number 7, Gage Anderson. His first Bearcat touchdown is a big one.
We were extremely proud of that because we were proud of Gage. And
He
what
ran
he'd
tough
been doing.
down there. I was standing by the goalpost. I mean,
and
he was fighting like heck for it.
Well, there was an unblocked linebacker in the hole, and Gage made him miss and got in the end zone.
Yeah, he's shifty.
Yeah, definitely. And then the last score we already talked about was the Elias Lejos kick, field goal.
Snap, hold, the kick is up. It is long enough. And it is good.
Sir.
All right, paid off. I knew we should have kicked it.
And so 31-13 was the final. So
Felt a lot closer.
It did. And I think that's because you could kind of feel the pressure of the game. And their offense being as good as it was and having such a talented quarterback and running back, it never felt like it was out of grasp for them until the very end.
Yeah. I want to compliment the Peaster offensive coordinator for a moment. What an awesome and timely call on that screenplay.
Man, was it.
Because our ears were pinned back and they were in the end zone and, we were coming.
Yeah.
And screenplays are funny to me. They're kind of like fake punts, which we did pull off a fake punt, by the way. When they don't work, everybody calls you an idiot.
Yeah, and then when they do, you're a genius.
When you look like that one did, it is awesome.
Welcome to coaching.
Yeah, I don't want to
You
coach.
can make the same play call on 2 different weeks. In one of them, you get 5 yards and a first down. The other one, you get stopped for a loss. And
I don't want to coach. The stress that I deal with and just the public comments and anger with our webcast is enough to make me insane. I couldn't imagine coaching. Plus, I would run the most boring offense known to man. And, funny we bring that up. I sent you a tweet, but I want to give a shout out to another offensive coordinator, the Army's offensive coordinator.
Oh.
For those of you that don't follow Army football, just like me, but I did see this tweet. Army this week went on an 18-play, 99-yard touchdown drive that burned up 10 minutes and 51 seconds, including converting a 4th and 1 from its own 10.
now that's impressive. You had me at the last part. 4th and 1 at your own 10 that's testicular fortitude.
Yeah. 10 minutes and 51 seconds.
Army can have their fun with their 18 plays and 99 yards. How about the Bearcats having 2 98-yard touchdown drives?
Wow. That's nice. See, I didn't even have that stat.
Yeah. No, that's
Look at you keeping up with other stats.
And so we didn't go 18 plays, maybe 18 plays between the 2 drives.
Yeah.
But pretty impressive nonetheless. And so, I do want to give a shout out to a kid that draws the ire of the coaching staff often. He's our favorite player to love to hate, and that would be Alex Puga.
That guy was blocking.
He was a man possessed at the H-back there.
Yes.
I don't know how many he ended up with, but I do know that at one point he had 5 pancakes.
Even when I notice it, then you're really doing something.
He was bringing the hat, and he played awesome on the defensive side. I thought Aiden played really good on the defensive side as well. I was just pretty impressed with our defensive output overall.
Well, I've got the stats here. You want to cover those?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Leading passer,
Shocker.
Wyatt Smith, 14 of 28, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. QB rating of 115.2.
We'd like to see the completion percentage go up. And, I'm not saying anything that I don't think, Coach Peacock or anybody else would say is 50% a little on the low side of kind of what we want. But the fact that he takes care of the football does make up for that.
Yeah, and I'm not making an excuse for him, but stupid fan, we seem to throw more deep balls, which would lend a lower
they're a lower percentage pass.
Yeah.
And some of his completion percentage, it falls on the receivers catching it, falls on the offensive line giving him enough time to accurately deliver the football.
Which shout out to them. There was less opposing jerseys in the backfield than there have been, I'm going to go say, the past 3 weeks. This was the best job they've done all season.
They did a good job.
Both lines, offensive and defensive line.
Yeah, they did a good job. And then, Wyatt, just like any young quarterback, his decision-making has to get faster and better.
Yeah.
And it will. That's the best thing about it, because it's not more important to anybody than it is to Wyatt.
Yeah.
And so, hats off to him.
Rushing. Gage Anderson, 18 carries, which is a lot. That's another thing for a first game and a freshman to put the ball in his hand 18 times.
With a catch as well. That's number 19.
Yeah, 18 carries, 100 yards, an average of 5.6. His first 100-yard game, obviously, and 1 TD. Receiving would be Aiden, 5 receptions, 100 yards, longest of 51 yards, and 1 TD. And then on leading tackler was Colin Lynch. I think that's the first time this year he's led the team in tackles.
That has been Curly twice and Ish once.
Yeah.
And so nice to see Colin getting in there. And, Colin's a junior, which means he'll be back.
That's 8 solos and 1 assist, too.
And he played really well. Very impressed with his output.
And then you've already mentioned him once, but Puga had a sack.
He did.
Yeah.
And, something that it doesn't register on our stat sheet is the amount of hurries that the defensive line generated.
Yeah, I would like for us to have that.
It was really going to be difficult for McElroy, the quarterback there at Peaster, who's a fantastic quarterback. Coach's kid, and he is fantastic. The amount of pressure, he was not able to be comfortable at all because of the pressure generated by the front four. And there's, like I said, we don't have a stat for that because we don't keep it. But if you went back and watched the film and did hurries and things like that, we put a lot of pressure on him. Even if it wasn't sacks, he just wasn't comfortable throwing the football.
Yeah. 1 fumble recovery, Aston Kirby. 1 field goal, Elias, and I don't know how far that was. It's not on this sheet. Do you remember?
29
yards. Aiden had a good punting night. 33-yard average, 41 long.
See, and that's not a good punting night for Aiden.
It really isn't, but I mean for high school it's good. But yeah,
that's an off night for Aiden.
I liked their totally different for a grass field. That was a well manicured field as well.
It was beautiful.
On back to everything Peaster seems to be doing is right.
I think Lenny Gray would have had problems with the brown spots kind of in the middle.
Oh yeah, he would have lost sleep over
that.
that.
But it was very much a Lenny Gray type field. It was immaculate
and a little shorter than Old Massey used to be.
Yeah, I mean it was tight.
Yeah,
it was good, great field. You couldn't ask for a better grass field.
But there's your quick hits on the stats. Obviously, all of them will be in our this week's guide.
Yep,
like they always are.
And what's coming down the pike in Bearcat land is this week's Bowie at Bowie. So junior high, 7th and 8th grade are going to play 5 p.m. in Bowie. JV will play Bowie at home at 5:30, and then 7:30 p.m.
We'll get to see the animal.
Yeah, see the old jackrabbits in action.
I was thinking more of is it Colton?
Colton Price.
Colton Price.
He is a beast.
He was last year. I don't know what would have changed. Hopefully he's in better shape.
What's changed is that he was in crutches during the Brock game.
Okay.
Found him on the sideline.
Did you?
So, obviously, we have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah.
So we're not even going to... What's a good word for guess? Guess?
Sure.
Yeah. We're not even going to guess at what the problem could be, but we hope he's unavailable for our sake.
Heal fast.
Next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, take your time,
Heal
buddy.
fast next Saturday.
Make sure you're 100% next Friday.
Yeah.
Because he's a player. He's nasty. I mean, he's everything you want a defensive lineman to be.
Speaking of that game, you've probably already watched the film, and what shocked the nation. Bowie was up 6-0. Did they run the opening kickback or something?
No, they did not.
Okay. Because they went up 6-0 and then...
They forced a turnover and then they cashed in.
Okay. Because it went south after that.
I thought we were talking about maybe Arkansas beating A&M.
No. Yeah.
What about A&M putting up more of a fight than Texas did?
Yeah, good for A&M.
Where we talk about the 4-0 Baylor Bears.
I'd rather not.
Wearing a green and gold shirt.
Who y'all played? Texas State? I haven't looked at your schedule.
We just beat number 15 Iowa State.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Shout out to SMU for beating TCU, too. Winning that Iron Skillet.
Yeah, just don't plant the flag. Baker did that at Ohio State, and it was a cool one-time deal, and then all these copycats. No planting the flag. That's my 2 cents. What do you think about planting the flag?
Man, fixing to break out into TCU talk.
No, we're talking about planting the flag.
I don't think they should do it, but if you make a big deal out of it, that doesn't help it.
No,
I think TCU just should have acted like it didn't happen, but Gary covered it in his post-game press conference.
Not only that, he covered multiple instances of SMU transgressions versus TCU all the way back to, I think, the band seeding the field in 1996.
He gets very...
Man, let it go.
He loves some TCU. They got a statue of him, for God's sakes, and he's still alive. And coaching.
If you have a statue of you at your current employer, that's impressive.
Hey, but that being said, SMU, Baylor, A&M, Texas, Arkansas, TCU. We talked Iowa State. We talked about any other colleges?
No, I think that's it.
We've got recruits available. 2022s.
Yeah.
Call us.
One.
Yeah.
In particular that needs a home.
What's that Twitter? At Coach Marsh 22?
That's it. And while you're there, check it.
Slide into that DM and reach out.
Absolutely. Good kids, too.
Maybe if number 1, Aiden Cox, was on that TCU team.
Maybe.
I'm not saying he would have changed the outcome, but I can promise you Aiden Cox wouldn't let that flag be planted.
I can promise you one thing is that if Aiden can't play receiver or defense anywhere in the country, he could punt at half of the college programs in America right now.
That's right.
Because how often do we practice punting?
I've come and watched some practices, and I've never seen you practice punting.
We line up and punt, and Aiden punts the football, but he gets no individual work on like how to actually become a better punter.
Yeah.
We have time constraints. You're trying to fit 8 hours of practice punting.
Should we call him the leg?
Legatron?
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
I'm just saying, call us.
We got people.
I think Aiden would have stopped that flag planting.
I agree.
He would have been there.
If it really makes you mad, Gary Patterson, we know where you can fix your problem.
That's right. Aiden Cox.
Flag preventer.
And by the way, Aiden Cox did make an appearance. He was at the OSU game this week, so
he was there with I think Ish and Cade Carter And then Aston made their way up there and took in some OSU football versus Kansas State.
Same score, 31-13.
Yeah. Orange and black.
Weird. So, yeah, we know Aiden looks good in orange and black.
He does. So, Mike Gundy, here we are.
2022.
All right. Well, as always, thank you to CS Designs for sponsoring the postgame show, and any of your design needs, make sure you reach out to them. And then shout out to our real estate studio for hosting us today. And
yeah, if you heard what sounded like trucks driving through our podcast, that's just, we're on Highway 377 right here in Powell Point.
right across from
McDonald's.
Yeah. And what's our veterinarian
That's
officer?
Advanced Care, who is a sponsor of the
first downs, isn't it?
No, penalties.
Penalties. Well,
Yeah.
there's plenty of those.
Yeah,
None on the coaches yet,
they
though.
get a lot of mentions.
But as always, CS Designs, thank you for sponsoring the postgame podcast. We look forward to talking to y'all again next week. Go Bearcats.